Welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann, about to break down today's fantasy baseball slate. But first, we have to talk about this Angels losing streak. Man, at 14 right now. That is wild.
It is
one of the
bad.
longer ones I can remember, at least.
It is. The Philadelphia Phillies in 1961 did 23 straight. As far as more kind of modern era, not that 1961 wasn't modern, but we had two different 19-game losing streaks in the 2000s. 2005, The Royals did it, and in last year, the Baltimore Orioles did it.
Man, that's crazy. So the Angels, to try to break the slump, resorted to changing all of their walk-up songs to songs by Nickelback to try to break the slump. It did not work.
How would that break the slump? It's Nickelback.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. You try everything, right? I mean,
you don't.
Baseball
stoop there.
players are a superstitious bunch, so
you
know
don't go
what would have been
Nickelback.
funny. I mean,
they might as well just did the Backstreet Boys or something.
Right. I was going to ask, that was my next question, was what is worse than Nickelback at this point? They really should do
You too.
Oscar Gonzalez, like take a page
they should go
from
total
Oscar Gonzalez
SpongeBob.
and just go SpongeBob or kids songs.
I like
I
kid
think,
songs.
like-
Kid songs would be good.
You know,
Yeah.
that'd be a good one.
Can do
We'll have to let the Angels know if you're watching this, change it up.
Wheels on the
kids
bus
songs,
go
Wheels
round
on
and
the
round.
bus, like stuff like that. Yeah, that's a real slump buster right there.
It is.
You're welcome, Angels. All right, let's get into today's slate. And first things first, we got a few weather conditions to take note of. The first is positive weather conditions. We've got some great ones at Atlanta. Winds out to center at 10 miles an hour, and it's warm. Hot Atlanta is going to be a great hitter's day there. Baltimore at Kansas City, 20% chance of rain potential, but in the weather report they said just chance for a slight, quote, disturbance. So nothing too noteworthy there, but I just thought it was funny that it was called a disturbance. You know, I guess that's what it is.
Kind of like
Nickelback. That's a minor disturbance as well. Our high-owned pitchers for today. First, we're looking at Yankees righty Garrett Cole going up against the Twins today. 42% owned on both sites. Looking at his numbers, 2.78 ERA, 196 opponent average. Fourth highest K per 9 rate in baseball at 11.27. Last game took a perfect game into the seventh following Jameson Tyon's perfect game bid the day before. Man, the Yanks have been crushing it. In fact, the Yankees are the first team with consecutive perfect game bids of 6 innings or more since 1961.
I like that fun
got a
fact.
little historical fact there, but doesn't really make much of a difference for daily fantasy, but just something to note. What do you think about him for today?
Cole's been amazing. 2.58 FIP on the year to 1.72 over the last 5 games. So he's just been absolutely crushing. Over that last 5 games, it's 33% K rate, but his K rate on the year is 31.5%. He's been lights out. He's been absolutely great. Minnesota is a top 10 offense, though, versus righties. They strike out at 23%. So this is the highest combined K rate on the slate. And then to give you a little bit of historical, 31 plate attempts, they're striking out 41% versus good old Cole. So there's absolutely some K upside here. And his K line is the highest on the slate at 7.5.
Yeah, so good reason why people are.
Yeah, so the upsides there is
all aboard the Cole train. Doot, doot.
Spider tack train.
I would pretend, just move along here. Braves lefty Max Fried going up against the Pirates today. 41% on DraftKings, 38% on FanDuel. Looking at Max's numbers here, 2.74 ERA, 2.22 opponent average. And he's facing the Pirates, okay? Third highest strikeout rate, 27th in batting average. So just a favorable matchup here.
How big of a treat do the Braves get here?
Right.
They're pretty much getting like another All-Star break. They go Oakland A's to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Like, man, that's lucky. So anyways, Pittsburgh versus lefties, as you said, they haven't been good. 24 strikeout rate, and then bottom tier offense. Now, the one thing is that Fried doesn't have the K upside as Ohtani or Cole, which are the other high-owned pitchers on the slate. He is efficient. He limits walks.
Yeah.
He pitches a little deeper in the game, but that strikeouts aren't really there. His K line is 5.5, which is obviously 2 strikeouts lower than Cole and 1 strikeout lower than Ohtani. So that is the one trade-off you're going with him. Hoping for less runs.
Right.
But less strikeouts.
Might not have the strikeouts. All right. Well, how about Angels righty Shohei Ohtani? Showtime against the Red Sox. 42% on DraftKings, 5% on FanDuel. You know, just looking aside the obvious disappointment with the Angels' performance, you know, Shohei's been a bright spot. It's so sad when I think about Shohei Ohtani and his talent being wasted on this team that is just can't get it together.
He should have picked the Padres. It did come down to the Padres as one of the final teams. And he just didn't come here, just like Seiya Suzuki didn't come here.
Right?
You know?
What could have been? What could have been?
It's a shame.
What could be for today for Shohei Ohtani?
Shohei is great. He is way too cheap on DraftKings. DraftKings just continually prices him too low as a pitcher. 30% K rate. Like that upside, you just can't really compete with. And Boston is a good offense, top 10 against righties. They do limit their strikeouts, though, but in 43 plate attempts, Boston's hitting 175 and striking out 32% against Ohtani. The one thing that I do need to bring up, he does have a 4.22 FIP over his last 5. He got shelled his last outing. Outside of that, he's been good. He's made it 6 innings almost every single start. Decent K upside, and he is allowing a lot of fly balls. But
the Red Sox are good, though.
Red Sox are good, but they're not as hot as they were.
That's a good point.
It's not like a totally don't avoid them situation like it was a couple weeks ago.
Okay. So some good options there. Man, DraftKings got to show Shohei some respect in the pricing, man. But I guess we can take advantage of it. Well,
he's 8K. Yeah, you can take advantage of about everybody else's too on DraftKings.
That's true.
You know. But not many pitchers to pick from today, so.
Fair enough. Low-owned pitchers for today. Let's take a look at Guardians lefty Connor Pilkington. No, he is not a character on Bridgerton. He is a major league pitcher, folks. Pilkington. Love that name. Okay. So,
good old
going
Pilkster.
Up against the A's today, 27% owned on DraftKings. Looking at his numbers, 2.65 ERA, 2.50 opponent average. He's been much better at home. Last game against the Royals, 5 scoreless innings, 8 strikeouts. And the A's can't hit. So Lord Pilkington he's not from Bridgerton, but doesn't that sound like a character in that or Downton Abbey?
He does. Good old Connor. Good old Connor Pilks. Oakland is not a good offense, as you mentioned. However, they are a little bit better versus lefties. They're 22nd in the league versus lefties versus 29th in the league versus righties. They still do strike out at 23.5%, but Pilks can have some control issues. He's having 5.1 walks per 9 over the last 5. If he can avoid the walks, I think he's going to have a great game. He's very cheap for his upside, second highest combined K rate on the slate behind Cole, and his 5.5 strikeout line is the same as Max Fried.
All right.
So he is set up for some upside. He's cheap. He's a nice little pivot off some of the higher owned guys. And he has a good name.
Maybe with and a great name. Yeah. That's Nick Pavetta, also pretty good name.
Yep. No longer Nick Poverty, though. Unfortunately,
your autocorrect
can't be saying that
now
anymore.
Respects Nick Pavetta because he's been putting on pretty good performances. 3.50 ERA for him, 2.08 opponent average, and we are long since the days when your phone used to autocorrect him to Poverty because he's been doing well. What do you expect from him today against the Angels, who we've gone over several times have been just abysmal?
And we have to start out without, obviously, they've lost 14 straight. Trout was out last night, could be out again tonight. He left the game on, Monday with left groin soreness. Or no, it was Tuesday, sorry. And he obviously could miss the game again tonight. So over this losing stretch, they are averaging 2.85 runs per game. which is not good. That's not going to get it done.
No.
Meanwhile, Pavetta on the year. I wanted to say poverty. It just rolls off the tongue. But Pavetta, 3.6 FIP on the year, 23% K rate, only a 33% hard contact rate. And he's been better away. Opponent average away is only 186.
Yeah. Okay.
And a 3.38 ERA on the road. So he's been good.
Another good
Angels
play
have been bad.
Yeah. Just Nickelback can't save them.
No.
Nothing can.
Sometimes you got to pick on Nickelback.
All right. Well, let's get to our stacks for today and see where we're headed. High-owned stacks for today. Baltimore going up against Royals lefty Chris Bubich, who has a 9.33 ERA. Yikes. 3.12 opponent average. And get this, lefties are hitting 600 against him. So, maybe put Rougned Odor in your lineup today. Think about that one. That's pretty wild. So, you can obviously see why people are probably gravitating towards some O's bats today.
It must be rough when you're a pitcher and you're not good at pitching.
I mean,
he has an 8.15 FIP over the last 5 games.
Wow.
So it's not even like he's just like getting unlucky.
Right.
Like he's been bad. 5.15 FIP over the last 20 though. So he is probably just getting just a little worse than he normally is right now.
Okay.
But he's allowing 2.5 home runs per 9. So that's really the point where people are picking on him. We also have very warm weather. There's a 4.8 implied total. Baltimore looks great. As you mentioned, lefties look very good against him too.
And this game at Kauffman Stadium, which we know is very much run
heavy.
Run heavy venue there.
Yeah, not looking good for the old Bubich.
All right, let's take a look at the Guardians. They're going up against A's righty James Caprillion, 6.06 ERA, 2.46 opponent average. And he has given up no less than 4 runs in each of his last 3 starts. He's given up at least 1 home run in his last 4. So going up against the Guardians, who are really good against righties.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the last 3 starts, 13 runs and 14.2 innings.
Ooh.
He has not been good. He has a 5.95 FIP on the year, 1.9 home run per 9, allows 46% fly balls. So we mentioned weather's also decent there. And 50% of his starts this season has gone for 4 or more earned runs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Cleveland's also a top 10 offense.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Righty. So Cleveland's in a good spot.
Oscar Gonzalez Day. Great.
It's a little SpongeBob.
Low-owned plays for today. Here's where we can get a little weird and different. Atlanta going up against the Pirates. It'll be the righty JT Brubacher. And he's the lowest projected pitcher on the slate for LineStar last I checked. 4.70 ERA, 2.45 opponent average. And he got shelled the last time out by the Diamondbacks and gave up 3 home runs in that game. Lefties slugging 4.66 against him. And you talked about the weather earlier in Atlanta being pretty good. So this is a great play here. Yeah,
we got the best hitting weather for sure here. And we have them in the lower owned section because the projections and our ownership projections are showing that right now. But a lot of the times earlier in the day, these owner projections don't really take in consideration some of the weather factors. So with that, I do expect them to surge a little bit and probably end up being one of the higher owned stacks, but they aren't right now. Brubacher, 4.61 FIP, 1.4 home runs per 9. He's a walking 4.2 batters, and it's really not a good strategy to walk batters in really good hitting weather. Just adds the runs. Yeah. Might be a hard one. Atlanta's a top 10 offense versus righties over the last 2 weeks with the third highest ISO and 5.1 implied total. Hot. They are the opposite of the Angels right now. They are on a winning streak, and they probably keep it rolling today.
Oh, yeah. Like you mentioned, this is the cupcake season for them with the Pirates and the A's.
Doesn't get much better if you're a hitter.
And next, we're going to take a look at the Yankees going up against Twins righty Dylan Bundy. Now, Bundy's numbers here, 5.57 ERA, 2.94 opponent average. Lefties are hitting him at a 3.07 clip. Last time out, he gave up 5 earned runs on 8 hits and 2 1/3 against the Blue Jays. You're looking at kind of a similar offense with the Yankees 10th in average versus righties. So Bundy could have a long day against those Yankees bats. But although yesterday he didn't show up like we expected him to.
Totally. And with this one, I want to start out with on FanDuel, the Yankees look like they are going to be far and away the highest owned stack. On DraftKings, they're pretty expensive, so they may not be. Now let's go into Dylan Bundy. He is an inconsistent pitcher. He has a 4.6 FIP, allowing 1.7 home runs per 9. But his blow-up games are really bad.
Yeah.
But then the next game, he can come out, pitch 7 innings, have 8 strikeouts, and give up 1 earned run and look like Cy Bundy.
Yeah.
So you don't really know what you're going to get. If you're on FanDuel and they're going to be that high owned, I might look to go somewhere else. On DraftKings, I love it.
Right.
But Yankees are expensive.
Yeah.
To go along with that, some BVP numbers. There is a pretty strong history with Bundy and the Yankees. 108 plate attempts. They are hitting 255 off him with 6 home runs and a 223 ISO. So they are hitting him hard. Have some home run success versus him.
Nice.
But you never know what you're going to get. He's like a
So
box
basically,
of chocolates.
pay attention to, which site you're working off of and adjust accordingly.
Yeah, like we've had a long chat this morning in the good old MLB LineStar chat about strategy, and this is kind of one of those factors that comes in. Got to figure out what your strategy is going to be on the slate, what site you're on, and go from there.
There you go. Well, we just helped you out with all that stuff you can find at linestarapp.com. Be sure to download the LineStar app. Check it out. Join the chat. We'll help you out with your daily fantasy lineups so that you can start winning some money.
LineStar, Shannon, and I are in there every day.
Yeah, come say hello. Moving on to our home run calls for today. We got some warmer weather in Atlanta. Are you headed there for your home run call?
I sure am.
Okay.
I'm going back to the man that hit 2 home runs for me a couple days ago, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Oh, yeah.
It's a righty versus righty matchup, but Acuna does not care. He's hitting .420 over the last week, has 3 home runs, and the weather, mid-80s with wind blowing out. You cannot go wrong with this matchup. Let's go Acuna.
I'm keeping it with that trend of picking Braves bats today and going with the lefty bat of Matt Olson. He's going up against that righty, JT Brubacher. You just talked about him, who got shelled by the D-backs last time out and gave up 3 home runs in that game. Lefties have a .466 slugging against him this season, and I'm saying today Matt Olson becomes a raker against Brubacher.
I like it.
You like that?
Yeah.
Also,
Nice little
Acuna
play
will
on
be a
words.
raker as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Prop bets. Taking a look at today's best bets in Major League Baseball. Who you got?
We are going Connor Pilkington, Pilks, over 5.5 Ks at +108. Since becoming a starter, he's hit this in 2 of 3, small sample size, but he has the second highest K rate on the slate, but yet he has the 4th highest K line on the slate. Connor fails today by walking batters too many times, but over the last 2 weeks, Oakland has the lowest walk rate in the league. Okay. So I think he does well today. He hits the over.
Lord Pilkington will deliver.
Lord Pilks.
Let's take a look at Trey Mancini. That's where I'm headed for today's prop. Over 1/2 run. Okay, so he gets a run. -105 is what it is there. Last 15 days, he's been batting .341. Basically, this season, Trey Mancini's just been awesome. Going up against Royals lefty Chris Bubich, who's got a .312 opponent average and an ERA over 9. And Mancini's accounted for a run in 6 of the last 8 games. Another one I'm looking at, if you're looking to be a little more risky, right? You might want to go with a over 1.5 hits at +170. He's only had 3 multi-hit games in the last 8 games, so that's where the risk comes in. But I'm saying today I love him going up against Chris Brubacher at the hitter-friendly Kauffman Stadium. I think he might get that today. So if you're looking to be a little risky and weird, go over the hits, or you can be a little safer and go with the over 0.5 runs at -105. So that's our place for today.
Good stuff.
Just a reminder of the weather. Let's remind everyone the weather. Good weather in Atlanta. And just keep an eye out for that slight disturbance of rain at Kansas City. But I think it should be fine there. We've had some good weather. Love to see it. All right. That's going to do it for us today. Be sure to check out LineStarApp.com. And keep up with us in all our videos by liking and subscribing. And commenting below what kind of jokes I can come up with. You know, you like the jokes?
Tell us what you think about
Don't
Nickelback.
yeah, your Nickelback. Yes. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye.